Hello friends and family, and welcome back to the 2023 Throw Pink Women's Disc Golf Championship. Coverage brought to you by Ace Run Pro. This is a PDGA X A tier. My name is Holly Finley.
And I am Raven Klein. How are you? We've brought round 2. We are at the Winthrop Arena in Rock Hill, South Carolina. A beautiful day, a course that covers a lot of ground, and we're going to show you our Day 2 chase card for FPO.
We've gotten really lucky weather-wise this week with little to no wind, which is a super bonus out here at Winthrop. First up, a name almost everyone knows, Ohn Scoggins. You've gotta love her. First in C2 putts. Next up, Alexis Mandujano, first in fairway hits at 91%.
Next on the card, we have Kaidi Allsalu, and she is 5th in parked at 17%. And last on the card, Missy Gannon, who is 6th in fairway hits. Fairway hits is a good stat here. There's a lot of hazard and OB to find off the tee. We're going to start off with hole 1, par 3, 283 feet. We do have 2 mandatory trees on the right and left side, and this is a straight shot, maybe with a putter or mid-range down to the basket. The only real thing ground-wise you have to clear is this downed tree. Other than that, if you can just clear that and scoot up to the basket, you're looking at a birdie too.
Two-time and current Women's Masters United States champions. Two-time and current Women's Masters World champion, Ohn Scoggins.
The chase card here today is all starting at 4 under from yesterday's round.
Ohn Scoggins throwing her Tour Series Leopard 3. She hits that tree on the right side.
Texas, Alexis Mandujano.
Alexis pulls her shot to the right and catches the guardian bush or tree.
Representing Estonia,
Small tree.
Allsalu.
Ooh.
A beautiful shot from Kaidi. Landing just outside the circle long.
Representing New York.
I got to play with her at US Women's 2 weeks ago, and she's got some great power and some really solid putting. So I'm excited to watch her play today.
I got to play with her last week at the Carolina Clash.
Nice.
Missy Gannon's shot hits the gap but turns over and starts drifting right. She's left herself with a 45-foot uphill putt for birdie.
Alexis with the standstill backhand approach gets herself just outside the bullseye to save par.
Ohn Scoggins for 2 from behind the log. And it's in. Birdie 2 for Ohn Scoggins from 66 feet. What a way to start the round.
Yeah, and then she mean mugged the basket.
That's what those spectators came here to see. Missy Gannon's got a birdie putt, but this giant tree is in the way. Huge straddle out to the right side. Good effort.
Just too low for Kaidi. Alexis in for par. Kaidi in for par. And Missy.
Here we are on hole 2, a par 4, 542 feet. This year, the ladies are playing the long tee. Your drive wants to go past these 2 trees. A little more premium would be up here level with the brick shed. Your second shot should be between 280 feet, avoiding the OB road on the left and the OB area on the right. And it's set off of the fence this year a little more than previous years.
Yeah. You used to be able to almost hit the fence to save yourself, and now that is a dangerous play, and I would not recommend it.
Agreed. Ohn Scoggins' forehand off the tee. She is safe.
Great shot from Alexis, getting full flight out of the disc. I like that shape flight. If you're able to push the height of the ceiling, that is, I would say, the common error is people just throw it a little too high and catch an early branch. Kaidi also with a good drive. And now Missy fourth on the tee. Doesn't quite get the full turn out of her disc, but doesn't leave too far left, and she'll still have a hyzer into the basket.
First up, Ohn Scoggins. Forehand approach. This takes a lot of touch because you're going towards that OB and the fence, and Ohn parks it. Bullseye for her. Tricky approach for Alexis, having to work around that tree, and she lands behind the other big tree right by the basket. Probably going to be a straddle putt.
Missy was left with a hyzer in toward the basket, but she has a low and slightly early release, and she's going to still leave herself with a circle 2 putt.
Kaidi with the longest drive of the group. Gets her approach within 30 feet. Here's Alexis straddling around that giant tree, and she gives it a good bid. Sometimes it's hard to go for those putts because you really need to hug that tree.
Yeah. And the last thing you want to do is hug it too tight and then leave yourself with another 28-footer.
Missy Gannon from Circle's Edge for a birdie 3. Just off the front of the cage. Kaidi in for the birdie 3.
Solid putt. Ohn in for the birdie. Nice and easy.
And Alexis in for par, as well as Missy.
Ohn off to a double birdie start. Welcome back. We have hole 3, par 5, 841 feet. You have a downhill tee shot with one OB bubble that we're passing and then the left half OB bubble. Your best shot is to try and get, I think, just to the right side of that second bubble, but a little bit more left if you're willing to risk it so that you're lined up better to pass this mandatory on the right side. Most players will be taking their third shot around that tree, and you're trying to get something, either a touchy forehand into the tree gap where the basket is, or just push something straight and have a long look at it.
Ohn Scoggins up first after 2 birdies in a row, and her backhand drive has pushed into that first OB bubble. She's looking at it like she just can't believe it. Next up, Kaidi.
Got some good power.
Good distance past the first OB bubble in a good landing zone. But like Raven said, I like to push a little more left so you have a complete straight shot through the gap. Oh, Alexis's tee shot is moving right over to the bushes.
Oh, wow.
And what a lucky kick out.
I did not think she was going to get through that.
She could still get a birdie from there.
We did see a lot of the card on day 1 pushing really far straight off the tee, which really cut their angle for the second shot.
Missy Gannon starts her shot really far to the right, and she has landed more on the right side of the fairway.
She got good distance, so I don't think she pushed as far into the trees. So she should still have a pretty good position.
This is Ohn's third shot. She doesn't make it past the 2 guardian trees at the top of the hill, but she could still birdie from there with her forehand skill. Not birdie, it'd be a par save. Sorry about that.
It's a good shot from Alexis, a little bit shy, and she's going to have a couple twigs in the way to approach the shot around the Mando. The hole makes you feel like you really need to go to the right, but if you have not passed the mandatory tree, you are better off shooting straight and giving yourself a better angle for the next shot.
Missy, because she threw so far and is on the right side, forced to a turnover, and it has turned out to be an amazing shot.
Yeah. Well executed. Ohn in good position for her skill set with the forehand.
Look at this. Look at this. In the bullseye again, Ohn Scoggins. Ready to save par? And you see Alexis is not trying to be greedy. She's not trying to bend around the Mando tree and get up to the basket. She just went for a simple pitch out to put herself in better position.
Ooh. Kaidi got real close to that tree. Pushes the approach just to the edge of the tree line, and she should have an unobstructed putt.
Missy chips a forehand around the corner, and she almost has a drop in. Great upshot from Missy.
Going for the skip play. Mandujano executes well and is just outside the bullseye.
Kaidi from a knee. Little front and left.
Ohn with the par save.
Missy Gannon makes good for the birdie here on the third. That second shot was amazing. Alexis Mandujano is in for par. 3 pars in a row for her.
Little double take. That's got to be one of the worst feelings in disc golf, is a spit out that you didn't see. So when you lean down to pick up your disc and then you see, oh, it's heartbreaking.
Here we are on hole 4, a shorty, only 249 feet, a par 3, a nice tunnel shot with a mandatory. If you've got the skills to shoot a straight shot, which is the most difficult shot in all of disc golf, go ahead and try it and get yourself a drop in too. Otherwise, you can just bell out to the left in the field safe after you pass the Mando sign, get yourself a little chip shot into the green, take a par, and move on to hole 5. First up, Missy Gannon. And Missy makes the Mando, but hyzers out left to the field. No harm there. It's a long look at it. Ohn's pulled out her Tour Series Halo Leopard 3.
Pulls a little to the right side, but gets a really nice nudge off of the tree and continues her forward momentum.
Kaidi hits the tunnel all the way to the bullseye. What a shot.
Alexis making it most of the way down the tunnel and also getting, I would say, a positive tree nudge, continuing her forward movement. Missy with the long bid for birdie, but low.
Alexis has a circle to look at it, but a lot of stuff in the way. It's more of a pitch up than a legit putt. Ohn Scoggins from Circle's Edge. Just off the cage, right side. Now she's in for par.
Kaidi in for the birdie.
Missy in for par.
And Alexis in for par. Hole 5, par 5, 794 feet. Off the tee, if you want to be a little bit risky and get more distance, you can go with a backhand turnover, but you really have to be cautious of it fading out into the water. The creek that we passed, the little ditch, is a good landing spot for you to decide. And then your second shot, you want to get as close up to the corner as possible if you're trying to go over the water. If not, you can stay to the right side of the fairway, play your way around the trees, keeping water out of it, and still have a chance for birdie.
First up, Kaidi. After the solo birdie on hole 4, she's opted for a forehand off the tee. And she pulled it a little more left than intended, and it landed in bounds, but with one hop, it is now in the water.
I was going to say the forehand, if you have the power, is the safer option.
Missy Gannon goes for the backhand, but she goes over that little tree and hits those trees on the right side.
Probably saved her from going OB into the road.
I'd say that it did.
Ooh.
Ohn over the little ditch with a forehand. Not really sure she'll have a run-up from there, but you don't need a run-up. You just need a placement shot.
Correct. There we go. A nice forehand from Alexis Mandujano. A little bit shy, and she skips into the ditch.
Missy, kind of pinched off behind this crepe myrtle, has to opt for a forehand. And from there, she could still go over, but it's probably going to be about 375 to the pin. She could air out to the right for safety into the field.
I think if I was that far back, I would. I'd still want to go over the water, but, ooh. Kaidi pulling it to the right side, but she does stay in bounds. That would be a difficult position to go over the water from.
This is Alexis's second shot, and it looks like she's going to play the over-the-water placement. So now she's about 20 feet away from the water's edge.
Ohn also going for a placement shot, I would assume, to then go over the water with a forehand.
This is Missy's third shot, and she is not lining up to go over the water.
Yeah, when you decide to go out, Missy does it very well, pushing as far and as straight as possible.
Alexis, brave, over the water. From her positioning, it's about 270 just to get to the grass, and she is safe on the edge.
It was a great shot.
She's given herself a 60-foot putt.
That she doesn't even need to run. Par on this hole usually gains strokes on most of the field.
Kaidi has decided to go around as well. Huge safe shot around the corner for her.
And was it last year on this hole that Ohn skipped off the water?
And I actually saw Ohn. She drove her car onto the fairway, had a stack of discs, and was practicing this upshot forehand at the basket. So it's not surprising that that shot skipped into the water last year because she put in work dialing it in. Missy's basically parked it. It was a really good shot. Look at the championship village in the background. Kaidi puts her upshot to right outside the circle, which is not what you want to do on this green. You need to get as close as possible. Ohn doesn't even want to run that. She lays it up.
Ooh, Alexis with a little bit of,
floater bid.
Yeah, I was like half bid, not quite. She had to run that, but it's just running the half. Ooh, good bid from Kaidi, just a little bit low.
Missy Gannon from 20 feet. It's in for par. Alexis in for par.
Ohn in for par. And with Kaidi tapping in this double, unfortunately, still overall the card played pretty well. This was the second hardest hole of the day with only 3 birdies coming from Evelina Solomon, Jennifer Allen, and Stacey Ronsley.
I want to be known for winning a lot of tournaments. Hopefully I get to a point where I can be dominant in an era with so many people coming up in the game. So hard to stay consistent at the top. That's kind of my goal, is to set the new standard for this generation.
Welcome back, Ace Runners. Hole 6, par 3, 282 feet, and what better hole to run at an ace? Right-hand, backhand throwers will have an advantage here. You can send a nice spike hyzer out past the canopy, crash it into the sand. Otherwise, I like a low flat shot, let it get a big flare skip, land on that Florida beach sand, and have yourself a drop in two.
Is it Florida sand?
It's called the Florida hole.
Huh. That's cool.
I don't know if it is. First up, Missy Gannon.
Going with that lower shot, hoping for the skip. Wow, about as close as you can cut it.
Missy is safe with a putt for birdie from 18 feet. Ohn Scoggins' shot is a little to the right.
Whew.
Luckily, it did get a skip off that tall grass, but she does have a 38-foot putt for birdie at the water.
At the water.
Wow, Alexis with a giant spike hyzer really far to the right side. And it's in that OB circle. She just pulled it too far right off the tee.
Ooh, Kaidi with the high hyzer, but way too inside. Luckily, gets caught up in the tree.
She's got a putt from 68 feet. She floats it up.
I would have said that is a good angle to run it, though. You've got more of the island. Alexis from the drop zone hits the cage.
Ohn Scoggins for birdie. And she misses. It is saved. Saved by the wooden stake.
Wow.
Wow. Ohn Scoggins. What a course save.
This course likes her, I feel like.
Wow. I love it when stuff like that happens. Missy Gannon makes good for the birdie.
Of all the spots to miss, and she hits the stake. Well, Ohn Scoggins in for the par, giving a little love.
Give that little stake a pat.
Thank you to the stake.
Nothing but a hair flip.
Wow. Kaidi in for par, and Alexis will grab a bogey here on the 6th. Hole 7, par 3, 284 feet, an iconic hole here at the Winthrop Arena. They have added an elevated tee pad for the players to shoot off of this year. And per usual, we have our triple Mando. You do need to go through these 3 bamboo areas. If you cross it on the outside, there are 2 optional drop zones on the left or right side. We love to see an ace on this hole, but you do have OB behind the basket in that wetland area. And the road.
Got some beautiful mums surrounding the tee pad.
I know, they're so pretty.
First up, Missy Gannon after a birdie on the 6th.
At least hit it.
And her shot has crossed past the Mando into the restricted space. She'll have to go to one of 2 drop spots.
Ohn leaking to the right side, needs to hyzer back in, and she does catch the edge of the bamboo and is safe.
Her Leopard 3 has saved her.
The luck continues. You'll see some players just play the hyzer short of the Mando and not even risk going past. I think it's a very smart play if you don't feel confident.
Look at all the young spectators to the left. Kaidi looks like even though she missed the Mando, like going through the door, she's still safe though. Yeah, she'll still have to go around it.
Yeah.
Which can be tricky. Ooh, Alexis. Perfectly straight shot, but lands short, 68 feet.
So Missy has opted for the left drop zone. Gives it a decent bid, but at low.
Alexis for birdie.
Ooh.
Oh, off the cage.
Good bid. Gave it great height.
Ohn liked it.
So Kaidi did not pass.
And look at this trickery.
Perfect.
Well done.
Trickery. Ohn having a similar shot from the other side. And lining up the reverse. of Kaidi's shot.
I mean, it's October. It's time for trickeries.
I mean, yeah, we got everything out of that hole. We got one person missed the Mando, one person centered, and then one from each side. So you're welcome, Ace Run Pro family. You got to see it all.
Missy in for bogey.
Kaidi was in for par, Alexis in for par, and Ohn will clean up a par as well.
Have you ever seen Moana?
I love Moana.
The You're Welcome song is my favorite. I listen to it on repeat
That is
nonstop.
a fantastic song.
It's a great
It's
song.
so good, and I love that The Rock actually sings
know,
it.
me too. I love The Rock.
Oh, yeah, great song.
Here we are, hole 8, par 5, 697 feet. Off the tee, you can go straight, but I prefer a high spike hyzer. Get past this tree and you're premium. Your second shot needs to be accurate. If you land short and hyzered right there, that's out of bounds. Also over the fence, out of bounds. That yellow pole on the right side, it's a Mando. You gotta pass to the left of it. Hopefully your third shot's gonna be a little chip up into the green and you'll have a look at a birdie 4. Ohn Scoggins up first.
There's a lot going on this hole. Ohn goes with the flex forehand using the left side of the fairway, and she is in great position to attack on the second.
Kaidi choosing my favored route, right side hyzer. And she's past the big tree. Good position for Kaidi.
The right side shares a fairway with hole 16, and if you were to not hyzer back in, it does play as a hazard. So you do play from where you landed with the penalty stroke.
Alexis has landed behind a tree on the left side, which still could be birdieable from there. She just needs to get past that OB area and set herself up for a forehand into the green. Missy's open on the left side. Oh, no, roll out.
Alexis overturns her wrist on that forehand and ends up in the OB on the left side that Holly mentioned. Never really gave that one a chance to come out.
No, from here, Missy just needs to get anywhere in the mulch and she'll be set up for birdie. Perfect. Cool thing about this hole, unlike hole 2, you can just crash into that fence on the left side and you're good to go. As long as you keep your disc below the fence height,
Yeah.
you pretty much can't mess up that upshot.
Ohn's upshot landed on the right side, so she's a little bit higher on the hill, and we'll have a tighter angle for a forehand approach.
Wow.
Wow.
Kaidi's shot hit the canopy and dropped down on the rope of the OB, but she's safe. That was a close call for her.
Alexis going for a slight flex forehand. I would say decent execution, catches a weird skip and does roll all the way down toward the fence, but that actually leaves her with a more open next shot.
Ohn has given herself a birdie putt from 50 feet.
Kaidi with a solid forehand up into the green and just pushes underneath that last little tree that's in the circle.
Oh my gosh! Alexis forehands in this zone. What in the world?
That was beautiful.
Wow, Alexis Mandujano. What a save.
You don't run it back.
What a save. Check it out. Crash.
Beautiful shot from Alexis. Yeah, what a par save.
Incredible. Missy Gannon took relief off of the fence, as you should, and pitches up her shot to 18 feet.
Left it a little short.
Ah, Missy, you couldn't even throw it in for us?
Yeah, but I thought she was like the queen of
Thanks for nothing.
throw-in highlights. Ohn hits the base of the pole and does roll back outside of the circle.
Oh no.
Oh no.
See what I did there?
Of course she did.
Oh my gosh, Ohn, what? What in the world? It's like nothing even happened.
I did like what you did, though. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I will probably use it again. But yeah, Ohn saves the par. Kaidi is really blocked off and doesn't even risk it. After seeing Ohn's roll away, she was probably not in the mood, so she just pitches up.
Missy smashing it in for birdie. Smashing it in. Yeah, it kind of sucks for Kaidi. She was, 16 feet from the basket, and that just couldn't get a putt.
Didn't have the putt.
No.
I've seen that particular shrub take away a lot of birdie putts.
Man, hole 8 was full of excitement.
Missy taking the risk.
Hole 9, par 4, 362 feet. If you want to risk it, you can go over the OB the entire way and give yourself a look at the eagle. Or if you just want to play it safe and get the birdie, you can play something out to the right side, leaving you with a shorter pitch across the OB and with the tap in, or look for birdie on the 3. That's pretty much it. The drop zone is further away than it was last year, so you still have the opportunity to save the par, but you can't save the birdie if you go over.
Missy Gannon up first with a surprise thrasher off the tee. A nice hyzer placement shot. That'll set herself up nicely for the birdie look.
Ohn also playing for the safer shot, just swinging it out wide on the right side. This is a good hole to aim for the drop zone if you decide not to go over.
Oh, Kaidi hits the metal. It's still in bounds, though, and she can still get a birdie from there.
Yeah, these trees definitely get in your head.
Alexis clips one of the fake Christmas trees, but doesn't really mess with her flight much. Kaidi has about 320 into the pin. And she's given herself a birdie putt from 35 feet.
Ohn with the forehand approach into the green. Puts herself just at the edge of the bullseye.
Alexis going back to the same disc she just threw in on hole 8, and she is within 5 feet. Missy also chipping up a forehand. She's giving herself an 18-footer.
Ooh, good bid from Kaidi. Just not high enough. Barely.
Missy in for birdie here on hole 9. That puts Missy at 3 under. Ohn in for birdie, also at 3 under. Kaidi tapping in the par, and Alexis will take a birdie as well, now moving her to even.
This was the easiest hole for the field today, with 50% getting birdies and 4 eagles. And the eagles were Ella Hansen, Holland Hanley, Jennifer Allen, and Katrina Allen.
Big throwers.
Big throwers, got those big arms. That's going to wrap up our front 9 of day 2. Checking in on the leaderboard, Evelina Salonen in the lead at 14 down, Hannah Blomroos right behind, and Ali Isra still making a good charge at it.
Appreciate you guys tuning in to this day 2 coverage. It's been fun hanging out with you. And if you'd like to support me, Holly Finley, please go to pharmacbd.com and use code HOLLY for 20% off all products.
And if you'd like to support me, you can find my tour series Convicts on the Dynamic Disc website. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you on the back nine.
Oh, and another thing, if you'd like to support both of us at the same time,
That's
you can
true.
go to another round in person or online, buy some discs of any manufacturer, and get mine or Raven's custom mini stamp on those discs.
That's true, and the foil op thing. The foils are cool.
Foils are cool.